Hi, welcome to fourth grade. I'm Amy Ball. I'm going to be teaching your child literacy and social studies this year.
Hi, I'm Jamie Rossetti. I'm the special educator between both the Ball and the Bateman classes, but I will be in charge of teaching everyone writing, and then I will be assisting with math and reading and all other subjects.
Hi, I'm Missy Bateman. I'm going to teach math and science to both classes this year. Thank you for taking the time out to watch our slideshow.
Okay, here we go, guys. Everything you wanted to know about fourth grade and then some. Our fourth grade team. So, as we already said, I'm Miss Ball. I will be teaching literacy and social studies. Mrs. Bateman will do math and science. Mrs. Rossetti is supporting all subject areas. And we do also have Mrs. O'Donovan, who is our instructional assistant within the room. Sources of information for you to learn about our class and our expectations. Google Classroom is a resource that children will use both in school and at home, as many of you have already ventured into that. We also use Class Dojo as the main means of our communication for you at home for our messages and our class stories, so please make a habit of checking that daily. Other sources of information are our class site. This is helpful for families and children. And Clever, as your child used last year, this is important for them to be able to receive messages and send messages to us and gain access to resources used in class and at home.
So, our fourth grade requirement per the school committee policy is up to about 45 minutes of nightly homework. That's Monday through Thursday. Students are going to need access to a device at home that can connect to Clever. We know that there are still some students that is difficult for, and we're working on that at school here, trying to get devices for some of you. They could use an iPad, an iPhone, a desktop, or a laptop computer to access Clever in Google Classroom. The public library is also a good resource. Homework's checked daily, and this is important as it supports the skills that we learned in class that day. Our whole team often posts in Dojo. We can access Dojo for private messages. And when you private message the teacher, it's individually seen by just that teacher and not the whole class. So that's important for you to know. Pictures of students and their work will be in Dojo. Announcements for the week can be found there. It's under class story. The reminders we send out pretty daily on Dojo, and we do like to take a picture and send out the homework on there as well. Classroom support system for students. And you'll also, some of the students will talk about the activities and videos that we do with Dojo. There's mindfulness videos, gratitude, kindness, and we'll also do reminders for our Thursday folder in Dojo. So that's the one night that the kids will come home with all of the work for the whole week, and we ask that you look through their folder. Sometimes the work needs to come back fixed or finished. Sometimes we ask for parent signatures on those. So that's on Thursday night, and they're due on Friday. So we're in this together. We tried to do a good team effort between families and students and us. So you can send us a note through Dojo. If you're trying to contact more than one teacher, you should email us and put us all on the email so we're kind of all together on it. We do share messages throughout the day, but if it's something important and you want to send it to more than one of us, include all three of us in the email. Dismissal notes can be found on the Alden website. Please communicate all changes and dismissals to the main office. Sending us a Dojo message in the day is a little dicey. We don't often get to check them, and then we're afraid we're not going to send your child where they need to go at the end of the day. So communicate all changes to the main office. Teachers do check messages, but we can't be relied on to do that throughout the day. And also, please allow us 24 hours to communicate back to you. Sometimes we need to talk to each other before we can get back to you. So 24 hours is a pretty good rule. If you haven't heard back from us within 24 hours, reach back out again, and just remind us that we need to follow up with that. Ms. Rossetti.
All right. So the PTA has asked that the homeroom parents gather emails from everyone, and they also need people to register on the PTA website for help. So if you haven't done that, please go to the aldenpta.org so you can register that. And donations. We actually made an Amazon wish list at the beginning of the school year. A former student had reached out, and so we will be adding that to our dojo story. Prizes for dojo. So we always say your trash is another man's treasure. So don't be afraid to send in old toys or things that your kids no longer play with. We are happy to accept them, and the other kids are happy to take them as their own prizes. Wipes, we always need wipes, paper towels, Kleenex, and sanitizer. All those things are greatly appreciated. And then the last part, learning is a journey. It's not a race. It's not a hurried trip through which we run so quickly that we lose sight of what is important. Rather, we move at a comfortable rate, one that feels right for each and every individual. And that is something that we truly believe on this team. Each kid is an individual, and we're going to do what your individual child needs. And they've got all of us working for them. So thank you for your time tonight. If you have any questions, what we're asking is that everyone send us a message in Dojo, and then we'll collect the questions since people usually tend to have a lot of repeats. And then we'll put out a little Q&A to get back to you. So that way everyone's getting the same message from us. We look forward to having a great year with you guys and getting to know your kids even better. And have a great year.